morning, everyone. This is Mark from Cedar Creek Bottoms Farmstead with another fireside chat. Have left work this morning and decided to go ahead and do this little short video about this, just something needs to talk about. So of course I'm working on another sighting. Did go speak with a lady this past Monday. Had a good conversation with her, seeing whether she's seen the booger. And I did video a little bit of it, but as we got into deeper, I found out there was a lot more going on than I thought there was. So I'm going to go back and interview her with Rebecca with me. And y'all please, I'm sorry about the bumpy road. But hopefully the phone will stabilize in something for us, I hope. Anyway, I'm trying to drive and film this too, so hopefully I'll have the other one maybe next week. I want to go back and interview her some more and get more in depth, because she started telling me some other things been going on, booger related and paranormal related. And then I found out the neighbor also had some stuff going on, and some of the other people had something going on. And this is the same place where the chicken disappeared in the coop. So this is all about 4 houses together with 2 vacant houses that are being worked on. So makes me wonder. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this sighting. This happened on a Sunday morning around daylight, just a little after. There's enough light that the guy can see what he was seeing. He was heading to work. This is in the northern part of the county of Talladega County, right next to the river. In fact, here's, I don't know if you can see backwater. I'm going across a slough now. It kind of surprised me, the location it came from, because it's pretty heavy populated. But then I got to looking on Google Maps, and where he told me he saw this, I got to looking, and a turtle in the road. There's a bunch of woods in here and a lot of low swampy land. Also, there's a travel route that it could get out of here and get into bigger woods. So I was like, well, maybe so. But also I know, it's not where I live, we got boogers hanging around in our neighborhood, even though most of us are spread out. Something could live in here. In fact, I've seen where some timber's being cut. But the houses are spread apart. Big wood lots with pastures. And I'm fixing to turn on the road now. Here's some more backwater I'm going by. So, anyway, the sighting was seen on private land. I don't know exactly who owns the property. But anyway, what I'm going to do is just kind of tell you a little bit about it. The guy said, like I said, he leaving for work. He doesn't live over here. I think he had spent the night with somebody. This is not the area he lives in. But he was heading to work. He was coming down this road that we're on now. And he wasn't thinking nothing about anything, had broke daylight, and he come up around some old pasture land, and we're coming up to it right now. So we got a darn vehicle behind me as usual, but right here on this left is where he's seen it, right in there by that pine tree we just passed. What he said he saw was something that was standing on two legs that resembled a wolf head. And where I'm at, it's all pasture with houses scattered around. And I asked him, I said, "You sure it wasn't a dog leaned up on the fence looking over?" He said, "No, sir." He said, "This was standing erect, not propping its front arms or paws on anything. Had a wolf-looking head with the pointed ears. It was brownish grayish color." I asked him, "How tall do you think it was?" He said, "Well, it looked like it was sticking up, 3 or 4 foot above the fence." By looking at that, when I went by, and I would have stopped if that vehicle went behind me. In fact, I may just turn around and go back. And so, we're looking in the 7-foot range, I would think, according to the fence, and him saying 3 or 4 foot above the fence. I know that a lot of people in the Bigfoot community don't really want to talk about these dogmen things, if that's what the guy saw. I know it terrified him, scared him half to death. Me and him got in a pretty good conversation about Bigfoot, boogers in Alabama, talking about that. Going to find out one of his kinfolks that has passed away now claimed to have seen something out in the Talladega National Forest years ago hunting. I think it was an uncle of his. But we discussed that, and then we discussed a little bit about the dog man. That's something I don't know nothing about, but I have some credible friends that claim they have seen them and that they are in Alabama. So, one of them being Coonbo Baker. There's also been some other sightings around Talladega County for people over the last few years. One at the grist mill that I'm going to go back in, and I've been going to go up there and film and tell about the Bigfoot sighting, and also some of the paranormal that goes on at the grist mill, but also give you a little history of the grist mill, let you see what it really looks like, and maybe go across the creek where people seen stuff. They have some hiking trails over there. And the grist mill backs up to the old Army ammunition plant from World War II. This is the place that's making gunpowder, also the heavy water for the atomic bombs. It was a big facility. Part of it's still there. The powerhouses are still there, but other industries using them. But I think they didn't shut them down and fixing to dismantle them. So all these were built in the 40s. There's a paper mill that built on part of the property, and now the Army had to come in there and clean it up real good because of the gunpowder. They burned a lot of the soil. So I'm coming back down here to where this was at. So I'm going to go, since I ain't got a vehicle behind me, we're going to look at this one more time here. So we're coming up right on it, right here on the right hand by where, well, no. Yes, it's a little further over, I'm sorry. So I want to get that on for you. Also, got to get out to the marble quarries and talk about that some too. There's been some sightings around the marble quarries, and also I'll show you the marble quarries, what I can of it. Used to drive in there and they didn't have security guards, all that stuff, but that has changed. But I can show you some of it, and I can show you where some of the Bigfoot sightings were. So you can tell this place has got homes in it scattered about here and there, but there's big wood lots and everything scattered in here too. So it's just you know, we're coming back to where I jumped the gun a while ago. So I know it's foggy this morning right here, kind of in the bottom. There are houses right here, but it is a pasture right here. So right here, right there, that pine tree, there's old fence, part of it's down. I don't see a trail where he claimed he's seen it. So right in here is really heavy wooded right in this part. Once you get past them houses, pretty much woods over here to the other road. It is thick. There's a driveway that's gated, probably going down on the river, to a house on the river way down there. So anyway, I got a bunch more traffic piling up behind me. Like I said, this is a lot of people living along the river, along this backwater, but there is a lot of land in here that's still wooded. Like a lot of it's old growed up farmland, which y'all know as well as I do. Growed up farmland is thick, is hair on dog's back. So anyway, so you know, like I said, you know, it kind of throwed me off a little bit because of the location. But then again, I know they hang around where people live. A lot of people think they're 40 miles out in the deepest part of the woods, which there are some probably there. But also, these suckers live right up next to men. Why? Because we produce food that draws in deer, coons, possums, fox, coyote, and your bigger predators follow them. Gotta be careful going down through here. All the kids getting ready to get on the school bus this morning. So, because you live in a neighborhood that's got a lot of houses, and he could have been traveling through here. This may not be where he's hanging out. He may have been traveling. He may be coming down the river, following the river down, or been following it up. I mean, we don't have no idea. Have no speculations on that. He could be traveling, or he could be hanging out in here. If there's a good food source, I mean, you got plenty of water with the backwater, you know, with fish and muskrats and beaver and snakes and turtles, and I mean, there's food here. Plus, you know, probably the deer and coon and all the other critters. So something to think about on that is they're not always out way out. Like I said, he does have a route to get out of here that he wouldn't be detected on. That's one thing I do look at when I look at sightings. I go to looking at possible travel route. How did he get into this place and how did he get out? He's probably gonna go the easiest route with cover, and he's probably gonna move at night. So there's a big creek. It comes in here to the south side of this, called Choccolocco Creek. It's a big creek in Talladega County. It's pretty much wooded along most of it and farmland. Now he can get into a big area, and And also, Choccolocco Creek starts in Talladega National Forest. So he could have followed it out of the forest and come down to Choccolocco Creek into this area, and then he hit the river, and he's either got to go up or down, or he's going to cross the river. On the other side of the river, there's big water woods, so he can. We already figured these things can swim. We know Bigfoot. There are reports of Bigfoot swimming. So with these things, I would say they probably can swim too. We know a regular dog can swim. I watched my coon dogs go out in the river. In fact, we had ones cross the river one night. Had to go drive 10 miles up to the bridge, come back down 10 miles to get to the dogs on some private property. So, do I think the boy was telling the truth? Yeah, I think he was telling the truth. I think he just didn't know what to do with it. How he did get in touch with me, because that was a question I was wondering, was he mentioned it on a site called the White Thing. Because in Alabama we're supposed to have a Bigfoot that's running around that's colored up white. And anyway, that's what they call him, the White Thing. And a person on there mentioned me, so that's how he found me. I didn't go back to find where he's seen this, but I told him to PM him when he contacted me. He commented in the section. I told him just PM me, and that's how we went from there and got his phone number and went to talking. So, so we're heading down south toward where I live. I'm 30 miles away from here. The river runs parallel pretty much with this road. The river borders the western edge of Talladega County all the way down. This northern section is pretty heavy populated on the river, but it is mixed up with farmland and woods in places. So something could move at night, move in and out, and not be detected. And there's no telling at the sightings that are going unreported. Too. I know there's been booger sightings in here. I know there's a lady in this area up here, in the Lincoln area, that has Sasquatches on her property. They've been there for a while. I know she spoke to Coonbo about it before, and she has talked to me about it before. I have never visited her property. Know about where it's at. And it's not far from where I'm at right now. Now, could a guy misidentified what he saw? There's always a possibility on that. But most of us know, what you saw. The guy didn't stop. He slowed down, and then he got out of there. Like he told me, he said, "Man, I didn't know what the thing was. This thing terrified me." He said, to me, this was a wolf standing on two legs, and it was big, So, and I can see that. If I came across that, it would probably throw me for a loop. But anyway, just want to tell you a little bit about that. I'm sorry that I can't go any further with it. I did think it was worthy enough to mention. One reason is somebody else in this area might catch this video that has seen something and contact me about it. That way I can establish if that is what that is. That's one part of being a researcher or investigator or whatever. I don't really consider myself them. I'm just old country boy that happened to have his falling in his lap years ago. So, but one of the things you got to do, of course, you want to try to make sure who you're talking to is credible. Also, you want to make sure they're not hoaxing you or trying to get attention. And I think I've only really had that ever happen one time. I'm pretty sure everybody I talked to about what they saw what they saw. And they didn't change from their story. This guy didn't change, because I even PM'd him back again and asked him again. That way I'd have it on written down, and he described the same thing. So I don't think he was hoaxing me. I'm just hoping this video, some people around in this area up here in the northern part of the county might see it. And because the northern part of the county, you don't really hear a lot from it. And a lot of it's just, a lot of it's farmland, a lot of woods in it. It's more, it's more populated than probably down in my area, because it being close to the city of Anniston. A lot of industry along I-20 that comes through Lincoln. Plus with the big lake here with a lot of people living on it, with another major town across the river, Pale City. So it's, and then the city of Talladega is 10 miles away. So a heavy populated area. But like I said before, I've got reports right outside of Birmingham, Alabama, which is metropolitan area of Birmingham. I think is close to 1 million people. Now it's not just Birmingham; that's the metro around it, which would be, Shelby County, parts of Bibb County, parts of Tuscaloosa County, Walker County. That radius around the city. You're talking about 1 million people living in that, however many square miles that is. With a lot of woods still in it, with a lot of rivers and farmland in it. So, I got 2 reports. I got one report from an area. I'd love to go back up there and film it. I'd probably freak everybody out pulling up that subdivision with a camera. But, right there in the Liberty Park area of Birmingham, which is right off of I-459. In fact, I went up there, me and Keith went up there and investigated this, and we heard the boogers whooping and everything. And I mean, I-20 was a quarter of a mile away, right there on the Cahaba River. So, that's how close they are to Birmingham. There's plenty of woods up and down that river. Subdivisions, food, people putting out dog food, people putting out cat food. People probably feeding the deer, feeding the coons, other animals, squirrels, birds. I mean, they're opportunists. They're gonna utilize that. Kind of like we would. I mean, if you really stop and think about it. I mean, if we were living off the land, we're gonna go to the food source. Yeah, we may have our bedding area or our area where we raise our kids, but we're gonna be close to that food source and water source too. So, just something to think about. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope the bouncing of the phone don't drive you crazy. I'm sorry. I didn't know a better way to. I didn't really want to stop there and get a hornet's nest stirred up. Because that road is a busy road, as y'all can tell. And I'm coming on toward my neck of the woods. I still got a good piece to go, but getting more back out into start getting more and more in the rural area. I mean, it's still houses. I mean, I'm still right by the river, but the houses get a little thinner down this way and everything. So, and I've been planning on doing some of these, talking to you on the way home from work. But I thought I wanted, just ride around that circle. Done rode it one time. I'm going to ride it some more. Of course, this time of day, he's probably not going to be there because that road gets real busy probably right after daylight. People going to work and the kids getting ready for school. Do I think one's living in there? Yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, there's enough room for him. Him or two or three could live in there probably pretty easy. Food source, water source, thick cover, right up under humans' noses. They don't pay no attention. Don't mean that in an ugly way. Most people don't think about paying attention. So, very possible. And I told him if he heard of anybody else or heard of anything, to let me know. He said he would, so we'll go from there and see what happens. Well, like I said, hopefully next week I'll have a complete interview with my neighbor. This neighbor is only half a mile from me, so it's the same set of boogers. Just visiting her neighborhood and visiting mine and the other neighbors and all this. So I'm thinking, I don't know if he's there year round yet, but I'm kind of thinking he's coming and going. There's some big places north of me that one could hang out a good bit in with a lot of cover with farmland and creeks and swamps. Or he could be coming off the hunting club. He could be coming off at night, hanging around a couple of days. Once he catches a deer or gets something big enough to carry back to the rest of them, it could be. We don't know how these things do, but in my mind, if they're like us in some ways, you're going to have the hunters and the gatherers. They're going to go out hunting. They're going to bring stuff back to the older ones, the children. In my brain, that may not be true, but y'all, I'm going to get off here. I've done about 30 minutes of talking, and get across this crazy intersection here. This is a bad intersection. A lot of wrecks right here. I don't go home on this road too much. I can usually go home on the 4-lane, which is faster and get home quicker. But I want to show y'all this morning. But we'll have our live this Friday night, 7 p.m. I hope y'all enjoyed the live from the hunting club. Me and Rebecca learned a few things. First of all, probably needed to zoom the phone in a little more if it would have. Number 2, turn it the right way, like I got it now. That way I could have had both roads in view. Also, don't go when it's kind of rainy. Maybe go on a better day a little bit, but you never know. We are going to do some more of those from the hunting club. We'll probably do some from our backyard, and I do want to do some of them at night. Talk to y'all live, but also be paying attention to the surrounding and see what's going on. If me and a couple other people are thinking right, he's coming in there more in spring, summer, and fall. Maybe disappearing in the dead of winter for a little while. May not be. I don't know. It's speculation. All of it's speculation. But anyway, y'all know everybody we support. Spencer and Misty with Woodwalkers, Chris Reinhardt with Discover Sasquatch, Kyle with Encrypted Connections, Mr. Barton Nunley with Inhumanoids, Hellbent Holler, Misty and her family with Southern Appalachia Sasquatch Seekers. Miss Bama BF has a good Facebook, and some YouTube. Y'all go check her out. There's Jonathan Odom with his stuff. We got both to have that Dog Man thing out at Talladega National Forest this Saturday night. So may have some footage from it if I get to go. Actually talking about us having to work. So man, I get to go. Of course, on the homesteading stuff, you know, Deep South, Perma Pastures, Holler Homestead. There's a lot more out there that's got good stuff on homesteading. And some of them have podcasts, and some of them have Patreon. Y'all check them out. One other thing I was going to mention. Also Lori with Night Caller. She ain't put nothing out lately. I hope this ain't a cow on the side of the road here. Lord have mercy, it is a cow on the side of the road. Woo! Lord have mercy. Boy, I used to hate when mine got out. Especially that's probably a young heifer. She's probably wild as a buck. Well, she's pretty calm. She's just sitting there eating. Oh, yeah. I don't know where she got out. He got a pretty good fence up. Well, I have no idea who that belongs to. So I guess I need to get off here and call the sheriff's department. Let them come down where to keep maybe somebody from hitting her and totaling her car out and everything else. So anyway, as I always say, y'all love one another, be good to each other. Research everything you can, read about everything you can. Like I said, hopefully here in the near future, have some stuff on the grist mill, on the marble quarries. I may even give you a history of Childersburg and Sylacauga a little bit. That way you understand the area more for the people that's not from this area. Some of the history going back to the Indians and some of the other things that went on in this area. So, will y'all give us a like, subscribe, hit that comment, notifications, share, tell people about us, help us grow where we can tell the truth and hopefully help with homesteading with people that's wanting to go in that area. And for those of y'all that's emailing, bear with me sometimes. I do get your emails. You know, I do get them. And sometimes it takes me 3 or 4 days to comment back and get finally a chance to sit down and think a minute. So, you know, and I will comment back on questions. Just bear with me. Because a lot of days I'm on phone with other Bigfooters or people with sightings, or, you know, I'm handling a lot of my own business too. So, you know, so a lot of days I get busy for 3 or 4 days and then I get to catch up. So, anyway. Oh, I hope y'all have a good week. I hope what I've talked about's made sense, maybe clicked with some people. Like I said, I ain't no expert. But anyway, so this is Mark, Cedar Creek Bottoms Farmstead, with another fireside chat. I'm gonna get off here and get on to the house. We'll see y'all next time. Hope to see you Friday night on the live. If not, we'll see you next week on if Rebecca has a video of homesteading or the fireside chat. We'll see you later. Bye bye.